Chet Holmgren was the kind of talent people couldn't stop watching in high school and college. The kid everyone said had that rare NBA shine even before he stepped onto a pro court. He moved with confidence, he played with edge, and he showed enough flashes to make scouts whisper that he might be the next big problem for defenders across the league. So when the 2022 NBA draft arrived, nobody acted shocked when Oklahoma City grabbed him with the number 2 pick after his standout freshman run at Gonzaga. The hype was real, the expectations were heavy, and it felt like OKC had found a future centerpiece without breaking a sweat. But then came the setback, a foot injury that kept him out for what should have been his rookie year, leaving fans wondering if his momentum would stall before it even started. Yet 1 year later, he stepped into the 2023 Summer League, looking sharp, active, and calm. Like the game had been waiting for him, not the other way around. His timing, his confidence, his presence, all of it came back fast, reminding everyone why he was such a big deal in the first place. Before draft night even happened, the debate was wild. Paolo Banchero, Jabari Smith, or Chet Holmgren, who really deserved that number 1 spot? All three had incredible college seasons, but making the leap to the pros is a whole different test, one that usually exposes young players the moment the pressure hits. And that pressure is exactly why legends stepped in with advice. San Antonio Spurs icon and 1995 MVP David Robinson, the Admiral himself, shared guidance for the new generation, urging them to stay grounded, stay ready, and understand that talent alone won't save you when the league comes at you full force. I always tell people going from high school to college is a serious jump, but going from college to the pros is an even bigger one, Robinson warned, reminding young players that the league doesn't care about hype once the ball goes up. He pushed them to stay humble, study the game, and keep the Kerr approach, using their mind as much as their body, because everyone at this level is just as quick, just as strong, and just as hungry. Those were powerful words coming from one of the greatest big men in basketball history, and they hit even harder when the Oklahoma City Thunder later announced that Holmgren would miss the entire 2022-23 season due to a foot injury. The NBA world felt the sting instantly. The setback happened during a Pro-Am run where Chet tried to slow down a LeBron James transition play, a moment that turned into a freak incident that nobody expected. It wasn't reckless, it wasn't dramatic, it was simply one of those plays where things went wrong and fans everywhere felt the shock ripple through the league. NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith, who had been openly supportive of Chet from the beginning, reacted almost immediately. He said, "First of all, my heart goes out to the kid. The kid is a tremendous young talent with a lot of promise. And I thought when I watched him during Summer League that he was going to do amazing things. And this is just a devastating blow. I'm really sad for him." But Stephen A. didn't stop there. He kept it real, pointing out the exact concern people whispered about during Chet's Gonzaga days. Nobody doubted his skill, nobody questioned his value as the number 2 pick. But people did wonder whether his frame could hold up in a league full of seasoned veterans. Fans had said he looked too slim, too easy to bump off balance. And now, this incident only fueled those conversations even more. It's just a damn shame. I'm so sad for him. The kid has got a tremendous future. He can really play. I like him a lot, and I wish him a speedy recovery. Those were Stephen A. Smith's emotional words, and they showed exactly how much belief he had in Chet Holmgren's long-term potential. But Stephen A.'s reaction was only one side of the conversation, because not everyone saw the injury as a pure setback. 10-year NBA veteran Evan Turner believed Chet might secretly benefit from the situation, calling it a possible blessing in disguise for both Holmgren and the Thunder. Turner pointed out that Chet was still only around 20, with a frame that was still naturally filling out, and he suggested that having a full year with NBA-level workouts, NBA-level training, and zero game pressure could turn into a massive advantage. He explained that a redshirt year in the league could let Chet rebuild his body without rushing, letting him return possibly 20 or even 25 pounds heavier, stronger, and fully prepared for the physical grind that comes with facing pros every single night. Turner made it clear OKC was building a future with Chet in mind, and this injury didn't change that plan one bit. He believed the Thunder were prepping him, shaping him, and giving him a runway to return even better than before. Before the 2022 NBA draft, Holmgren was asked a simple but loaded question. Who did he think was the best player in the class? He didn't blink, he said himself. That kind of confidence doesn't always sit well with everyone, but Pacers legend Reggie Miller loved it. Miller, who is known for having his own strong personality during his career, approved of the answer immediately. He said, I actually like this response because now it puts an even bigger target on him. But give me dudes who take steps forward and aren't as scared, showing he'd always rather see players step into the pressure than hide from it. Reggie Miller calling out support for you isn't small talk. This is a guy who built his legacy by taking souls in the final minutes of games. So when he gives a young player approval, it carries weight like crazy. Hearing someone of his status back Chet Holmgren only made the buzz around him stronger, and it showed just how seriously veterans were taking this kid's rise. Holmgren's length, his ball handling, and his ability to move the basketball with confidence have already impressed people across the league. Two-time NBA champion and inside the NBA analyst, Kenny Smith went even further. He said Chet's skill set would end up mattering way more than the concerns people have about his slim frame. Kenny wasn't shy about it either, pointing out that Chet has been thin his whole life, yet still managed to dominate at every stop on his journey. According to Kenny, strength isn't always about pure weight. It's about control, footwork, timing, and understanding how to use your frame to your advantage. He explained that Chet's unique combination of guard-like fluidity and elite length would open the NBA floor in a way college never could. College defenses zone you up, limit spacing, and force slower games, but the pros give players like Chet room to operate, create mismatches, and punish defenders who can't keep up. That extra space, combined with the type of teammates he'll play with, could unleash a version of Chet people haven't even imagined yet. Kenny also highlighted Chet's natural shot-blocking instincts, saying his timing and reach would make him a defensive problem from day one. And he wasn't the only one feeling that energy. JJ Redick recently said he believes Holmgren could win Rookie of the Year over Victor Wembanyama this season. Redick broke it down by saying, Holmgren might be more prepared to produce right now at the NBA level than Webby or other rookies, pointing out that Chet's full year of recovery, training, and system fitting could give him a real edge when the games start to matter. The conversation around Chet Holmgren keeps getting louder because people know the Thunder are supposed to take a real step forward this season. Many expect OKC to at least reach the play-in, maybe even finish with a winning record, and if Chet performs the way analysts believe he can, the hype will explode fast. JJ Redick explained that if Chet shines in the advanced numbers while OKC puts up something like a 46-36 season, the Rookie of the Year race could shift in a huge way. Unless Victor Wembanyama drops something wild like a 20-10-4 kind of stat line, or Scoot Henderson delivers an efficient 18-9-5, Chet is going to be deep in that conversation from the very start. Redick made it clear, the kid is positioned to make serious noise if the Thunder rise with him, and next season is shaping up to be pure chaos, with so many young players entering the league, which only makes Chet's opportunity bigger and more dramatic. Former OKC center and NBA champion Kendrick Perkins didn't hold back when he was asked who he believed would take the 2024 Rookie of the Year award. He picked Chet without hesitation. At number 1, Chet Holmgren. That's who is my Rookie of the Year this year, Perkins said confidently. And he doubled down on it with energy. He asked people if they even watched Chet in Summer League, if they saw the flashes, the control, the surprising skill for someone with his size. Perkins broke down how Chet can play the 5 spot, run pick and roll, pick and pop, attack off the dribble, and still finish smoothly around the rim. Perk called out his elite handles, his fluid movement, and the way he reads plays before they even fully develop. All signs that Chet might not just compete in the race, but could run away with it if everything clicks. Look at that slippery eel, Kendrick Perkins shouted, fully locked in on Chet's footwork and timing, especially on the defensive end where Chet throws himself into every possession like it actually matters. Perk said this is the big man he's riding with, the same big man he picked as his 2024 Rookie of the Year favorite, without blinking. And even though Perk is famous for some wild, unpredictable takes, he might end up being right on this one because Chet really is that good. But you already know, we can't talk about Kendrick Perkins without bringing up some of his more authentic lines. Perk once said, if Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kristaps Porzingis had a baby, it would be the 2022 second overall pick, Chet Holmgren. The moment he said it, people knew it was peak Perk energy, dramatic, hilarious, and somehow still making a point. On the other side of the spectrum sits Charles Barkley, a guy who never just jumps on hype unless the player forces him to. Chuck will tell you the truth even if nobody wants to hear it. And that honesty is why people still pay close attention to his takes. Before the 2022 NBA draft, Barkley talked about the prospects he believed were the most ready to contribute on day one. He said Paolo Banchero and Jabari Smith would likely adjust faster because of their body type and natural physicality, something he always puts heavy value on. Then he addressed Chet Holmgren, calling him a terrific talent, but adding that he might be 30 to 40 pounds away from making a real difference in the NBA. Chuck wasn't saying Chet wouldn't succeed. He was saying the league hits different, and players built like him often need more time to adapt. Even when he respects someone's skill, he refuses to ignore the physical reality of the NBA grind. All three are worthy of the #1 pick, but the final choice depends on the situation once the lottery plays out. That was Charles Barkley, closing his thoughts, making it clear he respected Chet Holmgren's talent, even while voicing his concerns about his physical frame. Chuck doesn't hand out compliments easily, so the fact that he praised Chet at all says a lot. But he still wasn't ready to fully buy in without seeing how Chet handled the NBA grind. But while Barkley tapped the brakes, Skip Bayless had his foot firmly on the gas when it came to Chet's potential. Contrary to how Skip talks about other stars like LeBron James, Stephen Curry, or Luka Doncic, he has always shown a special kind of excitement for Holmgren. Skip didn't just like Chet, he made bold predictions that turned heads fast. "This will be the best white American player since Larry Bird," Bayless said with full confidence, throwing huge expectations on Chet's shoulders. He raved about his size, his guard-like movement, his leaping ability, his shooting, and his paint protection, calling him a rare blend of skill and athletic ability that the league barely ever sees. Skip painted Chet as a one-of-one star in the making. And this wasn't some new obsession. Skip had been hyping him up long before OKC drafted him. The moment Chet committed to Gonzaga, Skip could barely hold back his excitement, saying Holmgren would take the Bulldogs to their first ever national championship appearance. He even jumped online to celebrate the recruiting class, claiming Chet would elevate Gonzaga to a level the program had never reached before. Gonzaga finally won its first national championship with this recruiting class led by Chet Holmgren. Never seen anything quite like him. A long 7'1" guard with guard range handle who plays with the edge of former teammate Jalen Suggs. Probable #1 overall in 2022. "Congrats, Zags," Skip tweeted, showing just how high he believed the ceiling truly was. And now, after seeing what Chet has already shown on the court, fans are starting to wonder if Skip's wild confidence might actually have some truth behind it. He absolutely has the tools to build a strong NBA career, and the flashes we've already seen prove he can become a serious problem for teams if he sharpens the parts of his game that still need work, especially his body. Even with that challenge ahead, the potential is too real to ignore because when Chet gets rolling, he affects the floor in ways most young players simply can't. And don't forget, a foot injury like the one he dealt with can feel like a huge setback, but once a player recovers fully, they often return with the same strength, mobility, and confidence they had before everything happened. That's why so many people are hoping Chet's situation turns into one of those comeback stories where the player steps back onto the court like nothing ever slowed him down. Chet dominated before his setback, and now he's heading into an OKC system that's hungry for a postseason push. If the Thunder make the play-in or even the playoffs, Chet will get real competitive minutes. The kind of minutes young players grow from fast. Those reps matter, and every battle he fights on the court is going to shape him into a smarter, sharper, and more confident version of himself. People are hoping he returns even better than he was before, stronger, smoother, and ready to take the league by surprise. And if everything lines up perfectly, Chet Holmgren could carve out a career that people talk about for decades, the kind of rise that turns early doubts into pure silence. Good luck to Chet Holmgren and the Oklahoma City Thunder as they chase the next chapter. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who loves the game, drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.